2 weeks ago, UW Whitewater student Kara Welsh was laid to rest. She was shot and killed by her boyfriend, who's now awaiting trial. Tonight, as we near October, which is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, our Lee Mills shares a story you'll only see on 15 News, a local advocate's personal story of abuse.
Shannon Berry has been the executive director of DAYS for almost 18 years. I served on the board of trustees for a number of years, and Shannon has become my friend. So when I heard about Kara's murder, I reached out to see if we could profile a young woman because intimate partner violence happens more often in that young adult age group. That's when Shannon, who has never shared her personal story publicly, offered to be the one because it happened when she was young, too.
We believed in Kara so much.
With every Kara Welsh,
I hear those stories and every single one of them shatters me still.
Shannon Berry remembers her mission.
I was a freshman in college.
But also her past.
I met this person, very charming, very handsome, and worked very hard to woo me.
Almost 30 years ago. But Shannon Berry remembers the details. The friends, the dorm, and the young man who wasn't what he seemed.
He changed his major to the same major that I had so that we were always in class together. Anytime I wanted to go out with my girlfriends, he would come along. Pretty quickly, it was like I was really isolated. I remember him often telling me, like, well, if you're really a feminist, like, why do you wear makeup? Why do you have to have your hair long? You know, if you really don't care, or if you're trying to like undo the patriarchy, then why are you falling into these traps?
But they were traps set by him, using her values against her. Over time, the power and control started to change her.
I cut off all my hair. I stopped wearing makeup. I was dressed in baggy clothes most of the time. He had me convinced that this was actually my decision. It really got into my head in that way.
What started as psychological and verbal abuse turned physical and sexual.
And it was very traumatic because I had invested so much into this person and had really internalized a lot of what was said to me about how I wasn't pretty, how I wasn't really that smart, that I was too loud, I was too flirtatious, and, you know, I really just kind of shut down. Were some of those things red flags for you, or had it not really crossed your mind? It didn't even cross my mind until that point, I'll be really honest.
Shannon's story is all too common. According to the CDC, women ages 18 to 24 is an age group that experiences the highest rates of intimate partner violence.
Young adults not only are they now going off and experiencing true independence for the first time, they're also risk takers. They're still kind of figuring things out. And if there haven't been a lot of conversations up front or when they were much younger about what is healthy, what is not healthy, what do these kinds of things look like, it can be, again, really easy to be at risk for manipulation.
Shannon moved on from that relationship, but never saw herself as a survivor until she began working at Domestic Abuse Intervention Services, or DAYS.
And it was in hearing from another survivor what she endured that I was like, holy cow, this is what happened to me. I thought I knew what a domestic violence victim was. I thought it was going to be really obvious, right? Like it was going to be he punches me or he threatens me. And it was never that overt.
25 years later, Shannon and other experts are trying to change how we talk about abuse.
Unless we start having these conversations really honestly and sharing kind of the narratives and the experiences of survivors, to be able to have other people who are in the community, maybe like myself, when I heard that survivor story, go, oh my gosh, that's me, right? I mean, that was the most powerful gift somebody ever gave me.
I miss you more than you will ever know.
That's why when Shannon heard about Kara Welsh's death at the hands of her boyfriend, she felt compelled to share after all these years.
These are humans. Like, these are people who were deeply cared about and deeply loved. And I just can't even, yeah. If my story can help somebody else understand that what's happening to them, then it's worth it.
I want to recognize how hard it is to go back and relive stories of past trauma. And I want to thank Shannon for sharing her story. We talked for 45 minutes, and there's a lot more context and data in this story right now on WMTV15news.com, including a link to local events in October for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. If you or someone you know needs help, Days operates a helpline 24/7. Call 608-251-4445. It can be anonymous, and you can also send a text to 608-420-4638.